touch has no language. We have a universal language, and that's touch.
That moment was when I felt all these people are looking up to us.
Everybody should be honored like that. Whether you're an infant or an elder, we should all be honored in the same way.
This is such a golden opportunity.
It's not just one life that we are touching, it's a whole full circle.
Preparing for this outreach takes a lot of time and a bunch of different people really that are involved in the process. Myself, it takes me at least a year and a half before I even announce where we're going and what we're going to be doing and that people have a chance to participate. My husband is very supportive of my work, as well as our son, and they've traveled with me for every single one of these outreaches. We actually travel 365 days a year all over the world trying to share the very important benefits of nurturing touch. So for this particular outreach, we had over 3,500 people apply with only 30 slots. What I'm always looking for myself and the committee is to put together a multidisciplinary team. Our goal is to bring massage, pediatric massage, whether it's through hands-on application or education. I prefer the education because it's more sustainable. So we're always looking at leaving a sustainable model, but picking the team, I don't want to take only massage therapists of a specific background. I want to ensure our team is always rich of people of different genders, from different countries. We often try to have people that have different educational backgrounds so that we can put together a team that has more tools than any other team. It's essentially a super team that we bring in to do our work.
And that was the time I was like, whoa, this is a big group. I was like, okay, it's real.
This is like, yes.
It's the beginning.
Yep. So it felt like an illusion. Like, okay, like.
Until then.
On the ground as part of our team, although we do have so many people that we collect along the way, fantastic advocates, we had Dr. Ekta Bhatia, who is in Mumbai, and she helped us on the ground there as well as through other cities. And then Anushka and Yash were helping us from the other end of our trip from New Delhi. And together they joined us for the entire outreach so that they became part of the team just like the rest of us. So they're just a huge part of our family.
So I first met Tina about a year, maybe a little over a year ago in Mohali on a massage conference. I was there meeting another friend, and my friend told me that why don't you come over, we've got some others here who would, love to meet you, and you should meet them too since you are in this field of work. And I just took that chance. I hopped on a plane and I went there, and that's when I met Tina. I'm very glad I did that.
So we've been working on this project for an entire year.
Yes, almost a year. We started working on it from February and officially from March.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming to India. It really means a lot to all of us here.
Ekta professionally is a pediatric physical therapist. So her professional work is working with children, and she very well understands the benefits of massage therapy, and herself wanted to add some of that into her background. So she collaborated with us to work on the cities of Mumbai, Jaipur, and Varanasi, and then collaborate with us so that we could work together as a team effort.
I've been working in the villages of India for the last few years now, and I've realized that there's a need to improve the skill set from pediatrics to geriatrics to everything. but my heart lies with children. I've been working with children for almost 9 out of my 12 years of experience. So I wanted to start off with pediatrics, and that's where I started Indian School of Structural Medicine, where we thought that we would bring down people from different countries to come and skill train our people in rural villages, so that even if they don't have the means, they have the skills to overcome their difficulties.
So the plan for today, I'll tell you, is we're going to the National Association for the Blind. It is the largest organization in the whole of India that is for people, from children, from infants.
We're at a school for blind massage therapists, and we're going to actually do an exchange program with them today, with the Therapeutic National Association for the Blind, and we're doing a therapeutic exchange program where we're going to teach them our massage techniques, and they're going to practice on us. So it's going to be a great day.
How does it feel like day one of the new
outreach?
outreach?
Awesome. My energy's up. I think this is an amazing team. We have Tina compiled very talented people from all over the world, and everybody's in great spirits and filled with love, and I just think it's going to be an awesome outreach.
Our first big outreach day was with the National Association for the Blind, and it was very interesting because it wasn't just an opportunity to do education with families and staff of orphanages and hospitals, but we had physical therapists who came who are considered to be visually impaired, and they asked if we would train them.
This is Department of Rehabilitation, and here we run various courses for adult blind, those who are age of above 18. We don't have kids, but we have our professionals. Those means they are working as reflexologists, they are working successfully as physiotherapists, and we want them to learn new experiences or new techniques which will help them in their future life, in their future career.
Much smaller than today. All of our touch receptor, it's the same number in our skin from the time we are a baby to now.
उनमें से कुछ ऐसे हैं कि आप उनको पूछ सकते हैं, आप उनको हाथ लगा के.
So we were teaching and massaging, and they were massaging and teaching, and we learned from them and they learned from us, and it was fantastic.
I taught him how, and then now he's going to do it. He's doing a great job. He's never done this before.
Fluid strokes towards the heart.
So he is doing acupressure points on my hands right now and diagnosing what is going on with my body. He's been spot on. He hit C2 and C3, and all my lungs and sinus points, which have been bothering me since travel. He even knew that I had lumbar pain.
Means from the morning the session is going on, and I can make out the happiness on my students' face. They are really enjoying this session, and I'm damn sure in the afternoon session the next batch is also going to enjoy the same.
Thank you so much, Tina, and I thank the entire team for coming from all around the world to come here and teach all of us with so much love and so much compassion. And it really didn't seem like we all met for the first time. I felt like I've been meeting you all the way around.
Like you and me, we also have some kind of disability in certain areas. Whatever we are lacking, that is our disability. But we are trying to come out of that with another resources. Same thing is here. We have to find out the resource in proper way, and we have to learn how to utilize it in proper way.
India, a country stretching nearly 2,000 miles from north to south. A giant triangle separated from the rest of the world by vast stretches of ocean and the mountain barrier of the Himalayas.
Coming from America myself, I recognize that we're really a young country. We have a lot of history, but it's not to the extent that you see in a place like India. You can imagine yourself walking in the same footsteps that somebody else walked 1,000 years ago. It's such a rich country, and to know that they have such a historic background. When it comes to holistic healthcare and integrative medicine, India really is the birthplace for a lot of things that we think are so innovative today, but have been around for generation after generation.
By and large, it's easier to convince someone from India to take an approach holistically and in a much natural way. They're more open to this. They would much rather do this. It's something like in India we say Dadi Ma ka nuska, which means grandmom's recipe for health.
Baby massage, which is how I started my work, it comes from India. And it doesn't come from a person, it comes from the whole country. Every grandmother uses baby massage. They pass it to their daughter, and their daughter passes it to their child, and it passes from each generation to the next.
In India, when a child is born, the first 40 days are considered very crucial for a mother as well as the child, to an extent that many families won't let the child or the mother leave the house in fear that they would catch an infection or fall ill. And those are the early days where the immunity is low. And during those 40 days, a mother is given massage first, to boost her immunity, her circulation, to help her with her body, to improve her hormones. I mean, when you relate it to all the medical aspects and what massage does to a body, it's amazing, because medically it proves everything. And our grandmoms and their grandmoms didn't know this.
2 लड़की अब 4 लड़का केंगती इतना बड़ा के हो गया है, तब लोग कर रहा है।
सुला कर बच्चा काउंदा डाल कर पीठ को लगड़ते थे तेल, हर पाँव को लगड़ते थे, ये पाँव को लगड़ते थे, थोड़ी चित्ता कर को ये छाती को ये सब ऐसा ऐसा लगड़ते थे, पीछे का हाथन कर को।
As long as I have seen in my family and other families that I have seen in, babies get massaged because parents want stronger bones, stronger muscles, their digestive system to get better. Like a lot of grandmoms that we spoke, they said that they massage their babies because they think that they will achieve their milestones faster.
They have all the right intentions. They definitely don't know the technical components of why how it happens and everything, but they know the bigger picture. They know that it helps you a lot.
When little kids comes in and they talk to parents saying that this is something a child needs through his growth period, not just in the first year. And when they provide the medical benefits and the knowledge and the scientific backing and the research for it, a parent will continue. A parent understands that this need not stop.
From there, we had a chance to go into Purnavas, which is a school for children, which they would say in India is a special school, meaning that it is for children with different kinds of healthcare needs. So they allowed us to utilize their campus to open it up not only to their families and staff, but also to those in the community who have children of different kind of needs. So we stayed there all day, and they came to us.
Yesterday we were teaching physiotherapists, so that was a little different. And people that were actually working in the field, this is actually working with the parents.
I would never want to come in and be met with any kind of reservation that I'm coming in and saying that what they're doing isn't effective. It is. But I've learned in my experience and my research ways that we can adapt. Infant massage, pediatric massage, so it's more accepted. For example, like asking permission. With my philosophy and my practice and what I share with others, we always ask a child's permission before we massage.
Yeah? Okay, good. I'm going to touch your stomach. Okay?
And they wouldn't receive massage if they didn't want to. They always have to give permission. It's only done if they give permission and for as long as they give permission, which is very different in comparison to other cultures, or things like the pressure.
Yes, as a child even I was massaged. My grandmother thought, massaging me harder would
Yeah.
make my bones my bones would become stronger.
But that's sort of a myth which Tina has busted for us.
One of the things that I've learned is massage does not have to be aggressive or too firm to be effective. Gentle is much more effective for children. And so understanding that kind of concept and that foundation helps it to be better received.
Many a times the touch, the hold may not be gentle. How much pressure should be used, the direction to keep a child calm. If the child is hypotonic, to improve the tonicity, to aid in the growth. These things our grandmothers would never know. They didn't study. And Liddle Kidz Foundation adds to that. It adds to all these skills, makes it better. It just fine tunes and makes it much more scientifically available to parents.
Or different approaches for different kids. Like some people think children with autism or on the autism spectrum don't like to be touched. It's actually a huge misnomer. It's how you touch and the communication that you use and the type of the techniques that you use. So I've had quite a lot of experience using touch therapy in different kinds of opportunities and facilities with different families and children, and being able to adapt it so it's better received by the kids, I think has been one of the big pieces of my practice that's helped it to get into other different kinds of hospitals and healthcare settings.
The first person I got to work with was a mother who had a 10-year-old boy who was on the autism spectrum. She was having a lot of frustration, and so was he, about speech. And so we just discussed a lot of ways to help him with proprioception around his face and mouth and tongue and throat.
My first child this morning had hemiplegia of the right side with a brachial plexus injury, and her right wrist was stuck in contracture. And with the use of the massage and educating the mother, and the mother was actually treating the left side of the body contralaterally while I was treating the right side, we were able to get the brachial plexus injury to open up into external rotation, and her hand was actually able to go from only being able to make a fist like this to actually closing into a grasp. And she was just showing her mom with so much joy. The eyes, they said she was very happy, and that really touches.
When the parents come to us and they're very concerned about their child, they oftentimes bring us a big medical report or just lots of information. They feel helpless. Some of them have told us that they feel helpless. They don't know what to do. So when we're able to teach them and you're putting that power back in their hands, that they can impact their child, that they are an active role as the healthcare team, it not only changes the experience for the child themselves and their healthcare, but also the parents, because they feel empowered that they can actually do something. Sometimes they're pushed away if they are having access to any kind of healthcare providers. They think that that person has the medicine or the shot or the cure, and they don't know that they can do something, and actually they have the power within them to really change this child's life.
He wanted to learn some face massage, and we did abdominal massage. So yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he's a grandfather taking care of his grandson, so he learned really well and really quickly.
We did a massage train with the kids. So the moms massaged their kid, and then the kids massaged their new friends' moms. It seemed like when we first started that the kids wanted to be involved, so that we thought this was a great way of getting them involved in the massage.
Everyone's really excited, which I think is really cool. Like, everyone's been so eager and wanting to learn, and it seems kind of natural to them, even though like we're offering different techniques or like maybe refining something, but it's really well received.
What I have seen in India as a shift in the healthcare need or healthcare sector is that initially not many people understood who to go to with a problem. They were unaware and were not sure if they could reach out to they reaching out to the correct people. And now they've realized that there are many professionals who deal and help with specific healthcare needs, and they understand who to reach out to. So the awareness is increasing, people know, and that is better.
One of the things that I try to do along the way on our outreach trips is to build in cultural experiences and little fun surprises for the team. Thank goodness they trust me. So when we got to Varanasi, they already knew that they should go to their rooms and put down their things and that we were to meet out in front, but they wouldn't know what they were doing. It was going to be a big surprise. So we had all of these bicycle rickshaws waiting for us so we could go 2 by 2 through the streets of Varanasi, which is an experience in itself, to a special event, which was another surprise for them.
There's a lot of people. That's pretty amazing.
It was like we were in a foreign movie.
As a group, we had a chance to go to the Ganges River, is what we would say in the West, and in India, a lot of times they say the Ganga River, but we went there and we were able to experience and witness the Ganga Aarti.
It's like a dream for you.
The Ganga Aarti is a ceremony, when you see it, it's spectacular. A lot of the team thought, this is amazing, we're so lucky to be here on this special day, except that that special day is every day. They do that every single day to honor their belief system and their culture, that they spend all of the time to prepare and to practice and to ensure that everything is held in the highest regard. And they travel for thousands of kilometers to come and have a chance to even set foot in Varanasi. For us, being able to be in such a place and to see that history and to have that experience around other people that hold it so dear, how it can influence you.
Early I didn't know much about the blindness. I came from Bombay. I have not seen blind people, and not in number like this here, like North India. Plenty of people who are blind or deaf or dumb and what sorts of things. But then when the children were low at times in life, I used to say, look, I have a story, because there is a phenomena here in India, and I believe elsewhere also, that because your parents have sinned, you have become blind. So that troubles them. They say, is it true? My parents sinned, so I became blind? I said, no. And I said to them, His glory shines through you children. See that in your life. And now they see it more and more and see it more and more. They have a very strong belief that the Lord shines through us.
For heavenly blessings, hearty welcome to you. Asking God for heavenly blessings, hearty welcome to you. Melanie joyfully, cheerfully wishing, hearty welcome to you. Melanie joyfully, cheerfully wishing, hearty welcome to you.
I call my friends to come over here to present a patriotic dance.
You can tell in meeting the girls at Jivan Jyoti that there is no lack of confidence. They are very happy, they're very proud of the skill sets that they have, and they're amazing. They are so bright and so happy, they're so joyous. You really can feel it's how they're being raised, and what they're learning there. And it's not just the educational learning, it's the compassion and love and the true nurturing that they're receiving, that is really impacting them of how they're going to be able to go out in the world.
When she was a few months old, the king married again with a very beautiful woman.
H-A-T-E-Y space.
Is equal to 1228.
Wow. You're much faster than I am.
And this is North America, and this is South America, and this is Antarctic continent.
Flowers have many colors. They are the most attractive parts of the plant.
All of these are geometrical shapes. This is a circle, this is rectangle, this is semicircle, this is square.
One of the things I learned about the school specifically is it was started because there were children that were displaced because they were visually impaired. So it became a resource in India that if someone was having a daughter that was born who was considered blind or visually impaired, they could bring them there if they weren't able to care for them.
I didn't know the touch therapy, that's called touch therapy, and the touch is so strong. But then I began talking to Ekta, corresponding with her for the program here. I began to understand that there is possibility of learning more.
One of the questions the sister had of me is would I be able to help with developing a professional therapeutic massage program for them, because one of her goals is to ensure that when they leave Jivanjyoti, if that's something they elect to do, that they'll be able to be a really wonderful contribution to their community. So she wants them to have a professional career, and she thought therapeutic massage would be a good option. So we started teaching them and weren't sure exactly how quick they would adapt, and oh my gosh, they're amazing. They grabbed it so quickly. Their auditory learning is amazing, and of course the tactile sense, which makes a whole bunch of sense because their visual opportunities are different. So their sense of hearing, their sense of smell, and their sense of touch is likely heightened because of their visual difference.
Whenever you want to start touch therapy, you want to rub your hands together and make a sound.
Would you like the last one? Thank you. No? And then when we reach your
2, 3. Very nice. Yeah, that feels good. Wow.
And then what comes next? No, that's like this one.
Crisscross.
Crisscross.
That's good. So that's the first
But
step.
then from yesterday, I tell you, I say worth putting all the trouble I have done, but worth it was putting all the trouble I have put inside here.
Can I touch your arm? Yes.
Okay, ready? Let's do it together.
Yeah.
1,
Yeah. 2.
Third one.
And up.
Third one.
Yes.
Number 2. Gentle go out.
And the girls were amazing because their sense of touch was heightened. They were very, very receptive, and like I worked with 3 girls, and all of them were super intelligent, super smart, and like they caught all the steps like this, like very quickly, and they were really good at their job. So I hope like some of them wanted to have a career in massage.
I want this dream. This dream is I want some of them to pick up this profession.
Really, really impressive.
And we had the opportunity to not only work there with their staff, but they're also allowing us to open up their campus safely so that we had families that traveled in hundreds of miles or kilometers so that they could come in and learn from us as well. So we were there, we used it as a fantastic outreach clinic for multiple days so that we could impact over 1,000 people.
Hi.
I was feeling so good that especially the village people who were very poor, who came yesterday, they were very poor families. They are poverty stricken. They come once in 6 months. I bring them here, and I was so happy that they were touched.
I want them to keep their backs straight, okay? Keep it up. 1, 2.
I think there was like a whole ground of people out there, or hundreds of parents coming in with kids with special needs.
the other hand and go up the arm, all the way up.
You know, they want someone to tell them like it's going to be all right, and you know they need to be taught how to, you know, just one a simple touch for their kids can make all the difference.
Grateful to them for having come to our life. Just grateful to them. Just grateful to them. I don't know when we meet again, but just grateful to them, and we will keep them affectionately remembering that this has happened in our life.
How we say welcome in Jaipur or in Rajasthan, you say Padharo Mara Desh.
Yeah, that's gonna be harder than Jaipur.
Yeah, I think you should
say that. Maharaja Pradesh.
That was really good.
It's Padharo Mara Desh.
Padharo Mara Desh.
That was pretty good.
Desh. Desh.
Oh, that's me.
Where are we right now?
I have no idea.
You don't know how to say it? Try it.
We're in Jaipur, yeah?
Time lapse.
So the third city that we went to was Jaipur, which many people think of as the pink city or the Paris of India, and it has the Rajasthani royalty culture. And wherever you go throughout the city, you see it displayed. You see those characteristic archways and the beauty of India that a lot of people think of when they think of India. And we were invited there as guests of the mayor of Jaipur. And wonderful in that he decided that he really thought this was valuable for his people.
You are most welcome at any time at Jaipur at my city, Pink City, and I invite you personally.
He asked if we would come there specifically, and then he communicated to all of the people in and around Jaipur that they should come to our clinic, to our outreach, because as the mayor, he thought it was so important to them. He even provided transportation for people to come and join us. We had people that traveled over 26 hours on a bus to come with their children so they could learn how to use the touch therapy. They don't have that kind of access to care, and he wanted to make sure that his people had it.
In any of the army schools, we have not gone for such events. We have not attended. And here it was an integration of 30 therapists from all over the countries sharing their techniques with the child, with the parents. In a normal school routine, we are doing academics, we are doing art and craft, we are doing so many activities in the school, and these things give the touch therapy gives a proper base to the thing, you know, what we have learned today. If a child is not ready to do, especially the fine motor, we are working on the fine motor skills, we are working on the gross motor skills. So with the therapy, we are more or less working towards the coordinations of the body.
When I'm working on his leg, I can see he's starting to calm down, so I just want you to make...
A lot of people they comment on how odd it is or how strange it is that we are providing massage for children. A lot of people say to me, I never had massage as a baby and I'm fine, and why do you need these kind of things? And it does seem odd initially if you don't understand what it is and why it would be beneficial. For babies, there's not only the physical aspect and the neurological and brain development aspect that takes place, but when you teach the parents, which is our biggest goal, is to teach parents and those people who care for them every single day to provide the massage, not strangers, but actual people that are loving and caring for them. It helps contribute to their bonding and increase their communication, which is fantastic and something people don't think about with massage. I think that the odd factor comes from people thinking of their own experience of going to the spa or going in for a relaxation massage, and that's not what we're doing, especially for the kids. For pediatric massage, we're looking at physical ailments, we're looking at different kind of diagnoses. When we have children that have different concerns like headaches, we have treatments that help with their headache. And or they have sinus considerations. If there's something going on, especially in India, there's so many things going on with respiratory, with the way that the healthcare is affected there in the air system. The children are having trouble breathing. There's actual families that are moving out of the city because they don't know what to do to help their child to breathe better. So there are techniques we can use that help them if they have asthma or respiratory concerns and considerations. So it's not just the idea of only relaxation and helping them to sleep better, but there's also that physical approach to look at ailments and discomforts that they have as a treatment option.
Actually, we know something like that therapies, but properly we don't know. My daughter is an autistic with a hyperactive child. She never adjusted with all the environment. But now here also beginning she didn't adjust. You are a therapist, she's shown on my body by touching on my body and the points where exactly we have to press. Then she made me to feel that this point, if you are pressing, you will get the relaxation. Then I understood that this place I have to touch on her body.
So some of the difficulties that we've seen in India are basically lack of education and awareness. People not understanding whether the need is a genuine need and it can be addressed, it can be helped. A lot of people believe that this is what it is and maybe it cannot be helped, especially in rural India, and they live with problems or they live with difficulties, I would say, without realizing that we could help them. That some things or some techniques or some tools or basic changes in their environment would help them live a much better or a better comfortable life.
Actually, the thing, this entire program was so much beneficial for our parents, for our teachers, for our special educators. The ones who could learn the techniques, now they can easily follow these techniques in the classroom, inside the playing areas, inside the play zone, activity areas, therapy rooms. And I think nothing to beat such things coming to India, especially to India, and organizing it at such big level for all the special schools that are here.
I knew this would be, when we arrived there, I knew this would be a little different for the volunteers. This would be a leg of our trip where we would be working pretty significantly with people that were considered untouchable. And so we had this opportunity to work with children affected by AIDS. We also were able to go and work with people in the slums. We were able to meet women who are acid attack survivors, work in the Leprosy village. We just had a great opportunity that I don't think everybody gets a chance to experience.
So diversity,
huge gap.
There's a huge gap, we're living well off and everything, and we go inside those slums and you see them, how they are living, how they get through their daily life. There's a drastic change, I mean, they don't have all the necessities.
Yeah, so like when we went to RK Puram slums, it's the posh area that we entered in. So all the big houses, all the big cars. And then you take just one turn on that road and a whole new world opens up. Like it was the slum area in center of a posh area.
So you can see the diversity,
the ultra rich and below the poverty line people.
Yeah.
In some parts of India, we don't have the provisions that you'd have in cities or in other countries. So we make do with things that are available to us. We've got a slang word for that called jugaad. We work with things that you have just to make sure that we take care of the need then.
So pediatric massage is one of the most sustainable forms of healthcare. We're teaching them techniques so that they can use them to better care for the children for the long term. We're not imparting something that we have to administer. We're actually instead passing the tools to them so they can carry on the long-term care. You don't need anything to do this work other than education.
So we want to be there for them. We want to go back to them. We want to keep helping and providing. But we want to make sure that every time we given them something, they have it for themselves to use it.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा, वो मसाज मैं जोर जोर से करती हूँ इतना दिन, अभी धीरे 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 बहुत अच्छा लगा।
अच्छा, अब ये सब बात से तुम्हें समझ जा, ऐसे सीखना है, ऐसे बोलना है, ऐसे करना है।
So these people, they know that touch is good and good touch is very good, but they've never been touched.
One of the things I've noticed, at least in a big focus of my work, I've always wanted to reach out into populations I think that other people are afraid of, especially when we come to working with children who present differently, children with different abilities. A lot of people are scared to go into environments like that, and when you do that, it actually breaks down the stigmas.
We are at Desire Society, Gurgaon. We're serving, I think, more than 25 kids.
Massaging, and they get up and they run away. It's okay. That way. Wow. Yeah, that way.
So they're treating HIV positive children. Most of them are HIV positive. Some of them are also, they have autism. I think a couple of them.
Like when we went to Desire Society, there were very young kids and then there were elder ones. The young ones, they were just all behind our stickers, they were jumping, running, and we had hard time to just find our kid because yeah, they were just kids, that's all. But the elder ones, they were so smart because they take care of the young children as well. They learned, they picked up so quick, and they said that yes, we would help the younger ones.
God, he's very smart. He read the whole book. And he's one of the older children here, so he said he's willing to do massage on his friends, the younger children.
Well, he got like an hour massage already.
I felt so many emotions rushing in and out. There were moments when I felt so kind, so open to everybody.
One of the big parts in my work that I'm always trying to strive that everybody can perceivably be equal, and with touch you communicate that. Hope Village was one of the places that we were invited to come, and really neat in that it is a leprosy village. That's how it was started and why it was founded, was to help families affected by leprosy, and over time it's grown significantly.
So the government established the whole thing in collaboration with Hope Foundation, and all these people with leprosy were asked to move out of the society because they were considered untouchables. If you touch them, you would get the leprosy in you. So that's where Tina cleared everybody's thoughts, because a few volunteers, they had this inhibition that are their wounds still active?
I went through and I helped educate them and reminded them of what the current circumstances are, and that the families there are receiving the multi-drug therapies and they're not communicable, and that we would be safe, but it's so important that we go because they have a stigma associated with them that people won't go to see them.
The way I look at this project, so the leprosy patients are the most deserving one in our society. The reason being, they are kind of outcast. They are not socially well accepted by other society.
Oh, namaskar.
Today we are, meeting the Liddle Kidz Foundation. We have a lot of volunteers around, and it's such a joy to see the community. They all have come forward to take the support. And today they are learning how to nurture their own kids.
That we're going to learn, and they will practice on their children.
आपके बच्चों को मसाज ज़्यादा बेटर लग रहा है वो जगह पे
आप उसे वहीं पे छोड़ दीजिए.
To see the excitement of every woman here with their kids willing to learn, it's such a joy.
You know, somebody who's suffering from leprosy, normally people don't touch because it has a lot of cultural difficulties, you know. When a leprosy patient is being touched and helped or bandage his wounds, he finds it so comfort.
These people, they really feel good when we go there. We treat them equal or above us, that yes, we are all humans and that's what matters.
So you're just honoring a person as a person, and then when you meet them where they're at in that way, it allows you to get connected on a deeper level, because in reality, everybody should be honored like that. Whether you're an infant or an elder, we should all be honored in the same way.
What I've realized is, not just in India, but anywhere, people have different ways of communication and expression. India has many dialects, has many languages, and sometimes it's difficult to get through to another person what you feel or how you feel. With kids with special needs, with kids with visual impairment, or our deaf and mute kids, sometimes expression is difficult. For any child, expression is sometimes difficult. And a mother, a first-time mother, is also struggling to communicate with her child. No matter what background, what position, what language, I personally believe that touch has no language.
1.3 billion and Tina is one. So we definitely need more people who learn from her, who spread the word around, who spread the practice around, the whole science, research, and educate people that why is it so important and what's the way to do it and how to adapt it as per your culture. So I think I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I know there are a lot of organizations that go into different countries to do specific work, but that work leaves with them. Our work is really different in that it's something that is sustainable and that it can be passed on, and it should be. It should be passed on safely from one person to the next person to the next. So essentially we're planting seeds that we hope spread out so that this work really grows. The work that we're bringing to these children and the care that we're providing, it's greater than the little hurdles that are in your way. It's so worthwhile that we gain so much from it. Not only just the idea of the experiences themselves and all of those memories, but it's something that you carry with you of how you will treat every new person that you encounter.
This outreach I have experienced mostly love, coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different people, different communities. No matter who the person is, a father, a mother, a therapist, a child, a trainer, a healthcare provider, people have shown love with no boundaries, which feels amazing.
To be able to develop a connection with all the parents, with the children.
To be able to change the way they think, the way they feel about their kids, it's for me the work of art.
Of course it's a work of art, otherwise you can't be in such organization, you know. You have to have that thing inside you. Unless and until you have that inside you, you just can't go for it.
That fineness, that patience, that love.
We want them to have access to that and to know that we can give that just 100%, whatever that looks like, it's worth it.
You don't need tools, you don't need anything. You just need your hands and you just need a lot of love. You provide that. Anybody could.